Paul, how well have you settled in at center, and how confident are you now making the calls?
I've been playing it for a while now, through spring, through fall camp, so I feel comfortable. I think the guys around me feel comfortable too with me making those calls, so I'm ready for it.
Who in y'all's room do you feel like had the best camp?
I'd say Jacob Hines had a really good camp. Coming from JUCO, I know what he's going through. I think he did really well. Travis Bruffy is also another guy who really improved.
Well, what do you think about this Eastern Washington front? And those some veterans you're going to face, specifically on the interior with number 9 those guys?
Yeah. I've watched a lot on film on them. I know they run different fronts, stuff like that. One thing that jumped out at me a lot is how hard they play, so I'll have to match that intensity. So I've watched a lot of film on them, though.
The offensive line has got a lot of criticism from fans, from media, from the outside world. What do you say to those guys about how hard you guys are working and how much improvement you guys expect to make this year?
Yeah, there's some things we weren't proud of last season, some things we had to improve. There's nothing I really want to say to them. I mean, it's something as an offensive lineman you kind of got to live with. We've put in a lot of work this off season, so I'm really excited to see how things play out, but I think we're ready.
You mentioned a moment ago, Jacob coming from a junior college, and you kind of knowing what he's going through. Any way in particular you can help him?
With him, technique-wise and how physical he is, it's hard to match that. He's a really good player. Ways I could help him is just learning the offense, some things he might have questions on. I think that's where I can really help him out at.
You guys have been focusing on the run. At least Cliff has been talking about that all preseason. How important is it to get off to a good start against a defense that struggled to stop the run a year ago?
Yeah, the run game has been a main focus for us. We know how last season played out. We're not really happy with that. We've made huge improvements I've seen since last year, so it's really just going out there and showing what I know this offensive line is capable of. That's really about it.
What are some of those improvements that you've seen?
I think the biggest thing and the biggest strides we've made as an offensive line is how close we are, and just that camaraderie and how much we gel together. I think that's a huge thing, and just the way we communicate and target things. I think we're all on the same page now. We know the scheme. We know what Coach Jones has in place for us. So I think that we understand all that is what's really going to set us apart from last year.
With Jack Anderson, what have you kind of seen him do, knowing the fact that he's a freshman and he was able to kind of really start him?
He's a great player, especially coming out of high school. It's something you don't really see much. He's come a long way since being here in the spring. I think he's starting to really embrace the scheme here and how to play at this level. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I know what he can do, but I think he'll be fine.
Is there a difference in physicality along the offensive line, particularly in the running game, having guys who, Jack, for example, who came from a running offense out of high school, more mauler?
It's just the mentality you got to bring with playing offensive line. I think Coach Jones has really drilled that into us on how you need to play, especially in the run game, and I think that's something we've changed over this offseason.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you at one center?
I think the biggest thing is just embracing that leadership role. You have some guys relying on you and making certain adjustments, certain points. So I think that's the biggest thing. But I think just playing throughout this fall camp, playing that position, I think I've gotten comfortable with it, and things have been going well.
What would you have thought 3 or 4 years ago if someone had told you you were going to be the starting center for the Texas Tech?
That would never have crossed my mind. And especially coming from Illinois, I never thought I'd end up in Texas.
I can't remember. Did you root for any particular Big Ten school when you were growing up?
I wouldn't say I rooted for a school. I know Northern Illinois is a school that's big in my family, so I've always kind of kept up with them. I thought I was going to somehow end up there out of high school. So I've watched a lot of Northern Illinois.
So you pictured yourself in red and black?
Yeah, it's just not the same school.
Your parents get come down for long?
They try to make as most games they can. Usually away games they can make a lot of. So go to Iowa State, West Virginia, they can make those. But they try as many games they can get down here. They'll be here.
For you, what would you consider a successful game for the offensive line?
There's no really stats or anything. At least me personally, I don't look at that. I just want us to play the way I know we can play and how we have played over this camp, and it's just selling out for the man next to you.
Anything else? How much have you guys talked about not sleeping on a team like Eastern Washington? I mean, Roger could kind of mention that you guys, that they obviously beat Washington State to start the year last year. They dominated the FCS level for a lot of years. How much is that a conversation between players and coaches?
Yeah, I think at this level, you can never overlook a team, especially a team like Eastern Washington. Just watching film, like I said, they play really hard. So you know how bad they're going to want this win. So you can't overlook them, and I think we've prepared for them.